Hello, hi, thank you so much for clicking on my video. So I was wondering, what would different countries look like as people? So I have a series on TikTok where I redraw countries into human. Here I have the initial paper sketch and I know it looks absolutely dire right now, but this turned out so well. So please stick around and I promise you're not going to regret it. So I don't have the video of me translating it digitally because I wasn't planning on recording this initially. However, I do want to be uploading more regularly on YouTube, so I started recording, but you do miss the first part. But if you want to see how I do that, you can see that on my first video. I really wanted to talk you guys through my process, but I need to have a disclaimer that this is not a tutorial in any way whatsoever. You can see how much trial and error I literally go through. Like from the sketch, I have to edit it so much because I'm still learning, and this is something that you can see. So far in this series, I've done India, Australia, Brazil, Russia, Ireland, and today we're gonna do Egypt together. From the beginning, when it came to Egypt, in my head, I already had an idea of what I wanted this character to look like. I wanted him to have beautiful, golden, sun-kissed skin. I wanted him to be like a very rugged, strong man with dark hair, and I could just envision it already, so it was a little bit easier putting everything together because I knew exactly what I wanted. So typically whenever I draw, I always do my base colors first. So I'll do the skin, the eyes, the hair, the shirt. I just block everything out because it makes it a lot easier to select certain parts to draw inside of. Quite a popular comment I get on this little series I've done is people talking about country humans and Hetalia. Now, I didn't know what these two things were before I did my series, but after looking them up, it's basically other artists who redraw countries as people. Hetalia is an anime, and country humans, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I think it's a meme or something. So redrawing humans as countries is not an original idea. So many artists do it. If you just have a quick Google search or have a look on Pinterest, you'll find so many artists. I'm not sure who initially started the trend, and I think it would be pretty hard to find out who. There are also so many fun challenges where artists redraw everything. They'll redraw food, they'll redraw drinks, social media, literally anything under the sun, artists will redraw it. So although hundreds of artists have already done redrawing countries, this series is unique to me because it's in my art style and it's based off my own original ideas for these characters, so yeah. Something else about my drawing process though is that I never know how it's going to turn out until I'm actually finished with the drawing. Okay, so shading. Shading is really important for my personal art style because it really brings everything to life and it makes it pop a little bit more. So I always shade my art, and I really like the way that it looks. When it comes to shading, I usually pick a darker, more saturated color for the shading. The initial base shading is probably what takes me the longest because it helps me know where different parts of the face goes. It sort of separates it into even more planes, so I know where to put the lighting and everything else. The highlight works so well with the shade. It is literally like peanut butter and jelly. I think they work so well together, so I always add shade, and then I have highlight as well. skin is a lot more complicated than just shading and a highlight, which is one of the reasons my art doesn't look 3D, but that's not my intent. It's my art style. I don't know if I can say it's my art style or I'm just a little bit lazy. So the way I draw eyes is very simple. I have a dark ring round and then I shade the top a little bit further. I add some light to the bottom of the iris and yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so with these drawings, they're all a bit of fun and I didn't think I would have to mention this, but I also have to add this as another disclaimer. This challenge is just a bit of fun. I'm someone who loves and appreciates culture. I like to make my art diverse. Literally, if you look through my Instagram and TikTok, you see that I don't just draw the typical 20-something-year-old pretty white girl. This challenge has been a great opportunity for me to add even more diversity into my art. My intention with this is to have fun, to better my art skills, think more creatively, learn about other countries, and allow people to see their own countries being represented more in art. So I know that I don't know everything about every country and will probably get things wrong, and I appreciate any constructive and positive criticism. With that, I also want to add that not every country I do is going to be representative of every single person from that country. Again, it's just a fun challenge. I might do your country and the person I draw might look nothing like you. They might have a style that you dislike or aren't fond of. Again, it's just a fun art challenge. I am also very open to suggestions of styles to do for each country. Whilst I only want to do countries and not individual cultures, if you know any interesting ones that I could do for a country, then please feel free to let me know. I'm very open to suggestions, so you can comment down any countries below that you want me to do on my YouTube video, or you can even put some on my TikTok, which is where I do upload these videos. Anyways, back to the drawing, which I've basically finished drawing and explained nothing. Yeah, you can watch my process, but like I said, this is not a tutorial. I don't know how to do tutorials and I'm not quite at that level, but yeah, I'm just doing lots of things with the hair. Is that useful? Is that helpful? I don't know. Probably not. I do have to add that doing the random cute little wispy hairs is very fun for me, probably one of my favourite parts of drawing. Moving on to the facial hair, this was really fun. So in my head, I always had the idea that I did want to give him maybe some rugged facial hair. On my notes, if you can see it, I initially wanted the beard to be a little bit patchy. I don't know why, but I thought it added to the rugged look. But then, as I was going, I kind of thought it might be a bit nicer to fill it out a little bit more. So yeah, the beard has its own process. Even though I know and I have in my head what I want to do, when it comes to the actual drawings, my ideas always change because it depends on what looks nice and what doesn't look nice. I love to add a little bit of blue in my drawings. I don't know why blue, but for some reason, if anyone's an art expert and they understand color theory, because I do not, but blue in the skin just makes it look a little bit better, a bit more realistic and a lot nicer. I don't know why. So I absolutely suck at drawing clothes, and this is something that I always say. And if you look at all my drawings, the clothes are always the worst part. Usually I just add a bit of shading and then ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist. I know that I really need to focus on working on clothing and patterns and stuff, but I kind of hate it. Yeah, so after all of that, after I'm done, I do the smallest little bit of details and then I'm finished. And then you can see the final product, which I am very happy with. And yeah, it was very good. I like the way it turned out a lot and I'm so happy. And if you look at the initial drawing and look at the final drawing, there is such a difference. But I hope you guys liked it. Please feel free to recommend any countries that you want me to do next.